Hi, AP and James. I mean, Mr. DeMarco. Anna Powell, I think, can you see if you can unmute yourself, AP? And James, can you see if you can unmute yourself? You should be able to.
I can.
You're in. All right, I made you a co-host, Anna Powell, which I changed a bunch of the settings. You should be able to share from your laptop. And we're just gonna wait. We'll see how long it takes for people to come in. So far, you got Mr. DeMarco, although he might just be pretending to be here. I only see his name. There he is.
Marco.
Hey, how are you, AP?
Good, Mr. Yu. I sent you an email yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes, I saw it. I'll write you back. I started writing back, but I haven't finished.
Don't worry.
I'm doing the same thing, binging tons.
I started watching today. What did I watch? Watching the assassination of Gianni Versace.
Oh yeah, did you like it?
I mean, episode 2. So.
It's a little intense. Yeah, I've seen that one. I think I've seen all of Netflix at this point.
Me too, Mr. I think there's nothing else to watch.
I moved on to Amazon Prime.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your presentation, AP.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Are you going to project the video, Mr. Chase?
I'm going to project the video. I'm going to wait till we get whoever we're going to get. I think we probably need to wait probably 3 or 4 minutes just because a number of people, I'm sure, didn't get a chance to look at the website and see where they were supposed to go. So I think it makes more sense to start with as many people as we're going to get and not have to keep adding people as we go. Now, AP, as co-host, are you able to see the people in the waiting room or no?
No.
All right, let me see if I can make you a co-host. There we go. Oh, look at you, co-host. Hello, everybody. We're just waiting for people to sign in. I think the private chat is open, so if you see anybody you know and you want to send them a little message, knock yourself out. I just need you off your lap, sweetie. Come on, anyway. All right. Let's give people, it's only 3:32, so let's wait a few more minutes for everybody. If you can, just get on to the chat. You can be private chatting. This is where the chat will be. I'll explain how this is going to work in a moment, but I do want to give people more time to get on the call. Hi, Michelle. Here comes Cynthia. Oh, you are starting to get an audience there, Anna Paula. You got 9 of us so far. There's Serena.
Hi, Anna Paula.
Hi, Miss Millstone.
All right. AP, did you disable the waiting room?
No.
Huh. I think Serena just popped in there somehow without.
Oh, no, I let her in.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, we'll wait just 2 more minutes. Please feel free to use the private chat to reconnect with anybody you know on the chat. I'll do it myself just to model. While we're waiting, AP, do you want to just regale everyone with how you came to this project? I know it's in your video, but just like give us some of the inside scoop.
Oh, okay. So the presentation you're going to watch is it was for my AP Capstone Research Project, which is a class I took also last year, but last year was seminar, and this year I had to design and plan my own research project. And I decided on zero waste because I learned about it through summer. And then Miss Alicia also told me about it. So I was really interested since I'm really interested in like helping the planet. So I found this solution and it's kind of cool. And I want to share it with you guys. So it's really simple to follow. in my opinion.
Easy for you to say. You're the professional. All right, well, we're 5 minutes in, so I think we can go ahead with this. Now, a couple things. One of the reasons I wanted to have you guys in the chat, I'm simply gonna play the video that Anna Pau has prepared for us, which is she had to do for her AP capstone project. It's a little less than 15 minutes long. One thing that Brian Zink, this was a pro tip, said is that sometimes projecting through Zoom is not the greatest in terms of you may get some reduction of video quality. And so I've put the link to the video, which is posted on YouTube on chat. And so if people are experiencing any kind of difficulty with understanding it or anything like that, you can minimize Zoom or you can leave Zoom and come back. We are going to just play the video, which is, wait for it, what do we got here? 12 minutes long. And so once I start it here in another minute, we'll probably be done at 3:50. And people that stay on the call, I'd like you to use chat as a way, oh, sorry, I sent that to everyone in the waiting room, my bad. Just a moment, thank you, Kristen, for catching that. Why are we in the waiting room? Everyone in meeting, there we go. One more time, there's the link.
Can I mute myself?
If you do have trouble, you can go to YouTube and then come back. At 3:50, Anna Pau will be able to take any questions that you may have. And I just thought it would be worth using the chat to write down any questions so AP can see them sort of and think about them and be able to respond to them and give us some form moving forward. Does anybody have a question or a comment or concern at this time?
Mister, I'm gonna mute myself because I don't want to see my own video.
Okay, Anna Pau is gonna blindfold herself for this portion of the program. All right, I'm gonna play the video now. Just follow along. Feel free to use the chat or a piece of note paper to jot down any questions. And if there's technical glitches, go ahead and watch YouTube and rejoin us here at 3:50. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. This will take me a little minute because I'm still learning how to use Zoom effectively. Let's hope this works. Bam. Before I start, can people give me a thumbs up if you see Becoming Zero Waste from an individual economic perspective on your screen? All right, keep that thumbs up if you start to hear audio. No? Okay. Curses. All right, just a moment. Aha! Share computer sound.
Alicia invited me to present my initial proposal for my AP Capstone research class, where I would plan, design, and conduct a year-long research project of a topic of my choice. So my initial idea was adopting and living a zero-waste lifestyle. However, I felt there was something missing. So I remember that there's 3 benefits of zero-waste lifestyle, according to B. Johnson, who is a pioneer leader of the zero-waste movement. And in her book, she says that it is supposed to be financially beneficial. So this made me wonder if it is actually financially beneficial to live such lifestyle, which led to my research project, which is Becoming Zero Waste from an individual economic perspective, and to delve with sharing my findings with you. So before I begin, I wanted to give you a quick crash course on what zero waste is. So zero waste is a solution to waste management, which combines 5 community practices known as the 5 R's, which are refusing, reducing, reusing, recycling, and rot. And the entire aim is to avoid creating as much waste as possible, so it won't end up in landfills or in the ocean. So the first R refers to refusing, which is saying no to things we do not need. So the more things we accept, the more demand we're creating. Let's say, for example, you're walking down the street and someone offers you an advertising flyer. By accepting the advertising flyer, you're sacrificing another tree that will be cut down to replace the advertising flyer you just accepted, and you're just creating more waste. The second R refers to reducing, is keep what we need and we cannot refuse. So basically simplifying your life and only buying the things you actually need. The third R is reusing. It means extending the lifespan of a product and maximizing its usage. The fourth R is recycling, and we all know recycling, but recycling is actually such a complex system since it depends on too many different variables to make it a viable solution for waste management. But by following the past three R's, there shouldn't be much waste left to recycle. And the final R refers to ROD, which is composting your organic waste. So as I previously mentioned, there's three main benefits of zero waste lifestyle. The first one is helping the environment. The second one is health benefits, and the third one is financial benefits. And for my research project, I decided to focus on the third benefit based on preliminary research I did before gathering my data. So based on my research that I did, I found out several studies regarding zero waste in the economy, but I found up there talking about the general economy, but none of them addressed how zero waste can have an impact on the individual level and how it can impact us financially. So I found out which gap I was going to fill in with my research. So when I first heard about zero waste was during the summer of 2019 before my senior year. And I was watching a YouTube video and they mentioned something about zero waste. And it piqued my interest, so I decided to research about it and learn more about it, because I'm always trying to find a solution to help the environment. And I found it fascinating. So, and during the summer, Ms. Alicia asked us to think about ideas or topics we wanted to research for our research project. And on the first week back to school, Ms. Alicia said something about zero waste. So I knew it was fate and I had to do my research project about zero waste. So when I first learned about it, I thought that it was not going to be financially beneficial here in Guadalajara, since it is such a new concept in our society. Like, I've never heard about it before. Like, until summer, I've never heard about it. And I thought it was going to be expensive, since if you think about zero waste store, you think about organic stores, and as you can see here in the picture, like, they look fancy, so I thought it was going to be expensive. So that's why I wanted to do this project. So based on all of what I previously mentioned, I came up with the following research question, which helped me guide myself throughout my research project. How economically beneficial is it to adopt a zero waste lifestyle here in Guadalajara? So to be able to gather my data, I created and followed 3 steps. The first one is an action research method. The second one is a compare and contrast method, and the final step is finding my conclusions. So for my first step is I use the method action research. And by action research, I refer to reflecting upon my own consequences of my practices with the goal of understanding and improving my social practices. So what I did here is I gathered my waste for an entire month to see how much waste I was actually producing, so I could feel the impact once I adopted a zero waste lifestyle. So as you can see here, here's an example. This is my waste from the first week of December. I gathered the entire week of December, I gathered my waste, and this is the first week of my waste. And once I gathered my waste, I analyzed it and saw what products I used the most and what type of waste I had. And I separated it into 2 main categories: personal use products and food products. And by personal use products, I mean products I use on a daily basis, such as shampoo, soap, body lotion, makeup, toothpaste, etc. And I'm not focusing on the products itself, I'm focusing on the packaging they come in. As well with food products, I am focusing on the type of packaging they come in, and I'm referring to the different types of products I consume. So for my second step is the method of comparing and contrasting. And what I did here, this method helped me analyze if adopting a zero waste lifestyle is truly financially beneficial. So I used my 2 previously mentioned categories, the food products category and the personal use products. And then I got the same products from 3 different types of stores and compared them by price and packaging. So the 3 different stores that I went to were chain stores, which I refer to stores like Walmart, Superama, Chedraui, where products already come packaged in like a lot of plastic. The second type of store I visited were advertised zero waste stores. And here you can purchase products by bulk. And these are known for being expensive since they advertise themselves as organic stores and having better quality products. And they're usually fancy stores, as you can see here in the second image. And the third type of stores I went was wholesale markets. And this refers to Mercado, like for example, I went to Mercado de Abastos, where they also sell by bulk, and they're not fancy at all. They sell all type of like foods and grains and everything. So once I had the 3 different types of stores I was going to go, I decided to which products I was going to compare. So the products I decided to use to compare and contrast among different stores are the following. So for the food products, I based the selection of products that you can find in Mexico's basic food basket, which is la canasta básica, which are foods that are needed to meet the needs of an average Mexican home. And I picked 8 basic foods, which are almonds, beans, cashew, lentils, nuts, oats, corn kernel, and rice. And for the selection of personal use products, I came up with a list of the most used products for personal hygiene, according to me, in my opinion. And I came up with 6, and I used deodorant, hair conditioner, sanitary pads, shampoo, soap bar, and toothpaste. And I need to mention this because it is important. For personal use products, I was able to only compare between zero-waste stores and chain stores, since wholesale markets don't sell this type of products. They only focus on food products. So I wasn't able to compare with wholesale markets. So before I introduce my results, it is important to point out that the prices of the same products vary across different chain stores or zero-waste stores. Hence, I found out the price average for each product according to different prices found across the same type of stores in order to reflect how prices differ from one establishment to another. So as we can see here in the first table, we're comparing the prices between chain store and zero-waste stores. And here we can see, for example, almonds, that we have the same amount. 1 kilogram of almonds in a chain store is 120 pesos. In a zero-waste store, it's 180 pesos. So that's a price difference of 60 pesos. So if you were going to buy all those food products in a chain store, it is an average 859 pesos. And if you were going to buy them in a zero-waste store, an average is 1,350 pesos. So that's a difference of 491 pesos, showing clearly that zero-waste store is more expensive. But the difference here is that when you purchase in a chain store, you're creating waste compared to zero waste, where you're purchasing and you're buying them in you're buying them and in your own jars or in your own cloth bags. Instead, in a chain store, you're buying them in a prepackaged containers like plastic. Here in the second chart, we can see this table compares the prices between zero waste stores and wholesale markets. As we can see here, almonds have 1 kilogram of almonds as well is 180 in that zero waste store. In the wholesale market, 69 pesos. And the price difference is of 111 pesos. As well, we can see here with beans, 900 grams. In a zero waste store, it's 36 pesos, while in a wholesale market, it's 19.8 pesos. And the total difference is 16.20. So there's a difference between buying in the zero waste store than in the wholesale market, even though both products, you're buying them in bulk. So in total, there's a price difference of 853 pesos from zero waste stores to wholesale markets. So the thing of why I came up with this idea of why zero waste stores might be more expensive is because they're selling better quality products, and that's what they're telling you. So here it's showing you that zero waste is possible, even though you might not go to a fancy zero waste store. So here, zero waste is possible by going to a wholesale market. So for the next table, we can see it's comparing the prices of the personal use products between chain stores and zero waste stores. And as already mentioned, I wasn't able to compare them with wholesale markets since those markets don't sell these type of products. So as we can see here, 1 liter of shampoo is 158 pesos, while 1 liter of shampoo in the zero waste store, it's 220 pesos. And that's a price difference of 62 pesos. So if you were to buy those products in a chain store, that would be 481 pesos. If you were going to buy them in a zero waste store, that would be 1,125 pesos. And that's a price difference of 644 pesos, showing that the zero waste, buying zero waste products personal use products more expensive in a zero waste store than in a chain store. So this gets me thinking that it might be better to invest and spend more money in zero waste stores for better quality products, since as well you're not generating any type of waste. But if we're only focusing on economics, it is not financially beneficial to be zero waste in terms of buying personal use products, since it is clearly more expensive. So for my conclusions, I found out that indeed buying food products in a wholesale market is cheaper in terms of price and eco-friendly packaging, since they're sold in bulk. And it is indeed possible to be zero waste here in Guadalajara. Even though you might not go to those fancy zero waste stores, it is possible to not generate waste and to save up money. And my second conclusion is that personal use products are more expensive in zero waste stores than in chain stores, and that indeed being zero waste in terms of personal use products might not be financially beneficial, but the products might be higher quality than the chain store ones. So if you have any questions or if you wish to read my entire research paper, feel free to email me. As well, I would like to publicly thank Ms. Diana Boyle, who was my mentor through these past few months. Thank you.
Welcome back. We just have 10 minutes. There were some questions in the chat, but before we go to those, does anyone have a question they want to ask? Just unmute yourself and shoot. Ana Pau is here. She's our expert.
How long did this studies, everything that you were doing took you, Claudia?
It took me like 2 months because for the AP capstone class, there's a time limit for research since you have to do at the end a 5,000 word research paper.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me like a month to start collecting my data. I started in December, it ended by January. And in February, I started like finishing my entire paper because you have a time limit. And Miss Alicia, my teacher, gives us a lot of time limits to when turn in things.
And how many different stores did you visit to get all those results?
I visited a lot of stores. I have my list actually. And I saw that one of the questions is if I had to travel far away for some of the stores. I didn't have to travel that far. I found the zero waste stores ones. I found like in Pablo Neruda, for example, there's some stores, or as well in, what's it called? I forgot the street name. It's called, there's a lot in like Pablo Neruda in that area. There's a lot of zero waste stores that I found. So I didn't have to travel that far away compared to like Mercado de Abastos.
Thank you.
So, Ana Paula, are you doing the zero waste at home and also your family? Like after all this research, did you encourage your family to do it, or what do they think about it?
So my initial project, I wanted to do like my entire house, like my entire family and everything, but my family was not excited about the idea. Personally, my mom, I told her about composting, but she wasn't excited about the idea because like she has a stigma that composting like brings like a lot of animals and like insects, so she wasn't excited about that. So I had to change my initial idea to just like adopt it like individually. Mm-hmm.
And about in any of your research, did you find out anything about like governmental policies that are encouraging people to reduce their waste? I mean, we always used to go to Colomos to recycle, and Colomos is closed. Recycling has just been piling up. I found a really efficient way to stack Tetra Pak, but it does make us much more aware of how much waste we're making. And I think probably many people are in a similar situation.
I didn't do a lot of research about governmental policies because I was focusing more on the economic side, but I think I should probably do some research. But I thought about some research about because there's European cities that have adopted zero waste management treatments. So they do have policies mainly in Europe, mainly in France. That's where I read most of it.
Pao, did you ever consider the possibility of a survey and listen in your condo about the reaction of how many do they buy in the zero waste stores or the chain stores and everything like that? Did you ever think about a possibility of having a survey so you will realize and you can give us facts in the sense that if people is aware of this type of stores also, and what can we do to help the environment?
No, I didn't do any surveys, but that would be a good step further because there's a part of my research project where I have to like explain like what are my next steps, like what are my steps in the future, because I would like to continue this project in the long run because I think it's a good idea to like promote this type of lifestyle.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw it, but I kind of find it like particularly kind of easy to do. It's not that complicated in my opinion.
No, it's just that I was wondering because we need to make the people aware of this type of stores. My personal situation, I never had a chance to go to those zero waste stores. I've been always going to the market, Mercado de Abastos, or the chains store. So it would be really interesting to have those facts and know how many persons are aware of this and how many persons are just going to take care of what we are trying to do with this, taking care of the environment.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you.
AP. Go ahead.
Well, AP, first of all, congratulations.
Thank
you did a lot of really awesome research. And I was at your first presentation and I remember you asking your audience, you know, where do you think I should go with this? Like, what are questions that I could explore? Because we all thought that this was a really great idea. And I think the question you chose about the personal economic impact of a zero waste lifestyle was a really good place to start. And now I'm wondering, now that you have that data, what do you want to know next? Like what would your next question be that you would explore?
Okay, for my next question, so for my further steps, what I would like to do next is probably, Ms. Alicia told me about this idea of like creating a database, like to share. First, I would like to start with the ASFG community, perhaps like start small and then like go big. So like she told me about this idea of perhaps creating like a website and like start sharing my findings through social media and everything. And as well, the video that you just saw is like, I had to cut some parts because it was a bit long video. So the parts that I cut said that perhaps like I could show this to, I don't know, this could be like, it's a wild idea, but perhaps go to like government officials, they show like there should be more investment like in wholesale markets, since it's like showing us that it is actually zero waste beneficial going to like wholesale markets, and we put more money in those type of places, more people will go, and like there will be easier accessible to those places.
A couple of people, AP, asked about sort of economic that you said, Kristen posted and Jessica posted about, like, you said there's a benefit economically to this kind of lifestyle. What did you learn about those benefits?
So I read the book of B. Johnson, who's a leader of the movement, and she said in her book that one of the benefits is like financially beneficial, and it's supposed to be saving you up money. So based on my research, I found out that indeed you can save up money through adopting such lifestyle. So, and like adopting lifestyle would be like going to like wholesale markets, because in my research, as you saw, I went to 3 different types of stores, those advertise zero waste stores. And if you adopt a zero waste lifestyle, it is possible. If you go to those zero waste stores, it is, as you saw, like it's more expensive than going to a wholesale market, and both of them are sold in bulk. But the difference is that the locations and there's a lot of different variables, and I talk about those in my research paper. There's a lot of variables like depending in a lot for this project.
All right, I want to make sure that we stop on time. I'm unmuting everyone so that we can give Ana Paula a round of applause. But before we do, I have been asked to share this with you because some people, I don't know who, want to make sure that this gets done. And wait for it.
Mister, can I quickly answer Ms. Nelson's question about COVID-19 and zero waste?
Go ahead.
So I was reading some articles while you were watching the videos, because I hadn't done research about that. And I read that there's some European cities are forcing like those types of businesses to close their stores since it's more possible for them to transmit the virus. So to answer your question right now, and I was reading other articles that say like you should not stop your zero waste efforts. But in my opinion, I think right now it's perhaps not the most viable solution to keep up with this lifestyle, since in Europe they're closing a lot of this type of stores since it is likely to transmit the virus.
All right. This is the thing that I'm required to show you on the website, which hopefully everybody saw down at the bottom. Oh, look at that. Everybody's already on there. They finished earlier than us. Sorry about that. Just a question, if you want to stay with sort of the question idea, you could just ask a question as a result of seeing the presentation, or a simple statement. Yeah, and I know this has been a lot, and we're sorry that we imposed this on everybody today. Everyone may be tired, but go ahead and throw something on there if you want. Yes, Parker would like to say hello. And now give AP a big round of applause. Bravo.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you.
Congratulations, Ana Paula. Thank you.
Good work.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank
That
you.
was super cool.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, Parker. It was
Bye,
nice.
Parker.
Bye.
Bye.
Good job, AP.
Thank you.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, ending the meeting. Whew.